Before we start, just a little stat. You probably heard that around 80% of the jobs as we know it are going to be replaced by AI in next 5 to 10 years. And that sounds kind of sad a little bit, but the good news here is that you're not going to be replaced by AI. You are going to be replaced by people who know how to use AI. And my name is Alex. I'm here today to show you a few strategies, a few ideas of how you can upgrade your knowledge so you be in the right part of this spectrum. So first thing, the agenda for today. So first, we're going to talk about a few AI terms and concepts because there is a lot of jargon over there. And I know that this jargon can be a little bit hard to understand. So I try to put it together with practical examples of what these terms actually means so they can be understood better. Then we're going to cover the different options for AI for generating text with ChatGPT live demo. We're going to run a few prompts. Then we're going to cover AI for generating images with a few softwares and a few kind of programs that you can use to generate images. Then we're going to do a Midjourney live demo. And then we're going to talk a little bit about AI for generating audio and video. And then I'm going to run you to one use case. I'm coming mainly from marketing space and event marketing. My company, Tag Digital, we're doing marketing for events. So I have one example of how you can apply and use generative AI to help you create a whole event from A to Z. So we're going to run through this example. It's a made-up event, but anyways, it's applicable to anything you're using, whether it's for event marketing or not. And then I have a little bit about the Spark framework, which is a framework I worked on previous year, and I put together all my thoughts of how actually we can implement AI and generative AI on practical level in companies. So I'm just going to run you very quickly to that if we have time, of course. And then I have a few like a fun examples, experiments, which I was doing in the last year and so. And finally, a little bit about me and Q&A. So starting with the main things, key concepts and terms that we're going to cover. It's machine learning and AI. What's the difference between these two? Natural language processing and large language models. What are these? What are the difference? Multimodal AI. What is that multimodal AI? Generative AI. What is that? Prompting as well. I think I missed this here in the slide. But let's start first with ML and AA, or machine learning and artificial intelligence. I was speaking in one event in September, and one of the audience asked me, what's the difference between machine learning and AI? And I was almost stuck and I said, okay, what's the difference? I know what's the difference, but I couldn't explain properly. And then after that, I go to my hotel room and I just start thinking, how can I explain that simply? And then that comes with this analogy. Let's imagine that machine learning is like a musician in an orchestra. Each musician is specialized in doing something or playing a specific instrument. We have a different kind of machine learning, of course. We have supervised learning. So if we go to the example, if you have a young violin player, he or she is probably playing by sheets, playing by notes, and that's a supervised learning. So the sheets are data, guide them through how and what not to play. But also there's unsupervised learning. And let's imagine this is like an experienced, for example, jazz saxophone player. He doesn't need notes. He doesn't need sheets. He can basically taken from somewhere and improvise. That's unsupervised learning. And supervised learning and supervised learning are part of machine learning algorithms types. And then there is reinforced learning, where the algorithm actually what it's doing is to adjust based on the environment. And if we want to go to analogy again, that will be, imagine a drum player that basically listen what other are playing or reaction of audience and adjust the tempo, the beat, and the whole the whole beat part to resonate with the audience and with the orchestra. So that's reinforced learning. But actually, what is the artificial intelligence? So if machine learning is just one player in the orchestra, the artificial intelligence is the whole orchestra. So there's a lot of algorithms involved to be able to create a beautiful music or to create something extraordinary. But also when we talk about AI, there's a few different types of AI. The one is narrow AI. If we go to the orchestra, let's imagine this is an orchestra that can play only classical music. That's what they play. They do only that thing. They're great at that, but they're not versatile. They can't play jazz. They can't play folk music. They can't play anything. And then we have general AI, which basically, if we go to the same example, it's an orchestra that can play everything and change genre on the fly, conducted by the conductor. So that's, in a nutshell, it's a difference between machine learning and artificial intelligence. The next one is natural language processing, or NLP, and LLM, which is a large language models. It's hard to pronounce, but there's so many acronyms. So if we think about NLP, or natural language processing, as a wise librarian, this librarian understands every reader's taste and the core of every book and links between different books and tales. They can suggest a book related to the mood, answer detailed questions about genres, and even wave a new story by combining different narratives. And that's natural language processing. And then large language models are actually the libraries, the expansive libraries that house all that book. The bigger and more variety the library is, like ChatGPT-4, the more tales and knowledge have the librarian can access and do. And here comes the magic, because the librarian actually can craft response taking part from different books and create a response that is created specifically for your inquiry, for your needs, and from what you ask for. So that's, in a nutshell, if we go into example, it's difference between natural language processing and large language models. Moving on, it's the multimodal AI. So what multimodal means, probably you heard that. In practice, before I go into example, multimodal means that the model can process and can work with different kind of media. This media can be text, this media can be audio, this media can be video, etc., etc. So these are universal artificial intelligence models. They're multimodal. They can work with different kind of media. If we go into example, imagine a superhero. We know all the superheroes, they have one power. They can read minds, or they can fly, or they can create storm, or whatever. But when we have a multimodal AI, that's a superhero of superheroes. So he or she can play or do everything. So he has all of those power combined together. And then next thing is prompt. Probably you heard that prompt so many times. But what actually is the prompt? The prompt is the way we as humans communicate with AI. So that's where we set our instructions and our needs. So if we want to go into some sort of analogy, let's imagine you're in a shooting scene of a movie. So there is a director director is giving instructions saying, okay, sound, lighting, you go there, you do this, you're saying this in that way, you're not be there. And all the scene, he's setting the scene. And the prompt actually is, in our example, is the director. So director gives directions to everyone involved into that movie shooting. And everyone involved are, let's imagine, different machine learning models combined together. So that's what the prompt is. That's our language or our way we communicate with AI. And finally, what is generative AI? In a nutshell, it's very simple said, generative AI, it's a part of AI that creates new kind of content. And it's extremely powerful in marketing simply because we, as a marketers, always create new kind of content. We create social media posts, we create blog posts, we create ads, etc., etc., etc. So generative AI can be helpful. But if we go again to some sort of analogy, imagine you have a Lego, and every single piece of Lego, it's a data set. And now you imagine you have a very smart robot that basically is getting these little pieces and combine them and create new structures. So you have this data, you have these pieces, they come together in something new, something you never have, and something that is completely new. But you use this part as a building blocks to create new content or new ideas or new um, audio, video, text, whatever. So by definition, generative AI refer to class to artificial intelligence system designed to create new content that is similar to or indistinguishable from human generated data. This system uses machine learning techniques to generate new data, such as images, text, music, and more, based on patterns and examples found in the training data. So that's by definition. So moving forward, what we can create with generative AI tools? Simply said, a different kind of media. This media can be text, this media can be images or photos, this media can be audio, or this media can be video. That's the four models we are working with. And then just let's dive into each of those. So how this talk is structured is that we're going to run through every single kind of media. We're going to run through examples of different softwares you can use to create this kind of media. And we have a few live demos to see how actually it looks like in practice. Let's start with text. In a nutshell, what you can do with generative AI text systems is to summarize text, expand text, paraphrase the text, to complete text that you already started, or to apply a specific style of text. Let's imagine you have something and you need to be restyled in the style of Victor Hugo, for example, or Shakespeare. Let's look at this from marketing point of view. What we can do, this is a very short list, as just like a scratching the surface. We can create strap lines and slogans very easily. We can create titles and topics, blog posts and articles, social media posts, ad copy for our ads across Google, Facebook, and all other social networks. We can create scripts for our videos and our podcasts. We can create the product descriptions. We can streamline generation of emails and automate this through different AI tools as well. We can create a landing page copy. We can create as well website copy. We can create survey and polls. And as I said, this is just scratching the surface. Just anything related to text, basically anything related to text, from creating your emails to, I don't know, say it, generate idea of a new product. All of that can be done using generative AI or text-related generative AI tools to some extent. So what tools we have? I'm not saying these are all the tools. I'm just giving you like an idea of how different they can be. Probably there are hundreds of them. I'm not saying I have a preference of any of these. I just want to show you what's the difference between them and what you need to search for based on your needs. So we have ChatGPT, probably the most kind of known tool. Then we have Bing Chat, which is powered by ChatGPT. We have Google Gemini, which was introduced actually this week or previous week at some point. Not this week, today is Monday. Previous week at some point, it's what it was called Bard before that. We have Claude 2, which is another large language model. We have Jasper, Writer, and Copy AI. The Jasper and Copy AI are tools that were on the market even before ChatGPT, so they were used by marketers a long time ago, before ChatGPT. And let's see just quickly what's the difference between these tools. So some of them are free, some of them have free version, some of them are paid only. So the first one, ChatGPT, you know that you can use a 3.5 model for free. And if you want to use ChatGPT 4 and some other features like plugins, custom GPTs, etc., you need to upgrade to a paid version, which at the moment is $20 per month, but it's worth it. Also, ChatGPT is multimodal, which means that it can work with text, but also it can work with images, and we're expecting soon to be able to work with video as well. In terms of what kind of AI is this one, ChatGPT is part of these so-called foundational models, which are created to be not narrow AI, they are general AI, so they can do a lot of different tasks. So they don't have restriction of, or they're not created or programmed to do something specific. They can do everything with text. Moving down there, Bing Chat. Bing Chat is powered by ChatGPT, so the backend is ChatGPT. It's available across Enterprise, Microsoft Edge, Bing Chat Enterprise, and all these like a Microsoft products. It requires to be signed to Microsoft like a suite to use that. Again, it's multimodal. You can create images, and you can do a lot of other stuff that you can do with ChatGPT, but that basically it's something created and baked into Microsoft products. Then we have Gemini, which is the opposite part of the spectrum. Not the opposite, but it's baked in Google products. At the moment, it's free. And we have Gemini Pro, which use the latest Google algorithm called Google, Gemini Ultra. And again, it can generate text, images, create computer code, and some other cool stuff. It's the same analogy as ChatGPT, and the early tests are like showing different, let's say, scenarios or different behavior between comparing these two. But basically, ChatGPT 4 and Gemini Ultra are like at the same level of let's say technological advancements. Then if we go down there, Claude 2, there is a free version, but there is pro version. Simply said, Claude 2 is very good in like creating a content in a more human style. And probably 2-3 months ago, the main unique selling point for Claude 2 was that it can work with a long like a blocks of text. They have a 100,000 token window, which means that you can upload and work with something, let's say 250 pages document, which was not available in ChatGPT or any of other tools. So that's why some people prefer Claude, because it's sounds more human, and also can work with a very, very big text blocks. And then the other, Jasper AI, as I said, that's a tool that is even before ChatGPT and all the guys mentioned above. It was used mainly by content marketer, and it's using their own model, but it's like more like a narrow AI, because it's you have a template created there. You can set your tone of voice, writing styles, and more like about writing. But the only thing the model can do is just create text. So it's great for if you want to write blog posts, and you can get very good result. But that's what it can do. The next one in the spectrum is Writer. It's interesting because actually there's a predefined template, so you don't need to mess around too much with prompting and how to get the right results. There's templates, but actually it uses ChatGPT 3.5 as a backend. So it's run solely on ChatGPT 4. Just you have different interface and you don't have prompts because everything is predefined in templates. And then finally, Copy AI. It's again something similar to Jasper. You have 90 plus copywriting templates, and you have unique result, multi-language support, etc., etc. You can see different prices. I'm not advertising any of this. I'm just trying to show you different kind of models you have. So foundational models, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and then you have tools created based on this model, like Writer. Moving forward, we have ChatGPT live demo. So I will need to switch here to go out and just give me a second. Well, so that's ChatGPT. I hope you can see my screen now with ChatGPT. I'm just going to run quick through the account and cover some features, and we're going to do a few prompts and experiment with ChatGPT. So the first thing is, I guess you can see your profile. So here you can see your plan, how much you're paying, what's your plan. So I'm on Plus plan. You can upgrade to Team plan, which is something new, so you can collaborate with your peers in your company. The other thing here is my GPT. So if you create your own GPTs, like I did, I have list of all of my GPTs, which we're using. You have a custom instruction. So the custom instruction is the way that you can set your tone of voice or your style. So every time you prompt to ChatGPT, you can actually have the same output. In this case, I'm not using because I'm wearing so many hats, so I need to switch between styles. So that's why I don't have anything here. But if you're consistent, if you do one thing and if you want to follow a specific style, you can set instruction here, and ChatGPT will take this into consideration when you do your prompting. And then finally, it's your settings. Sorry, settings. So what you see, that's not so interesting. The interesting part is that you can enable beta features, and here is how you control your data. So you can export, you can share links, and then that's your builder profile if you're using ChatGPT or custom GPTs. Sorry. So the next thing here, which I want to cover, it's different models you have. So here in the top corner, you see a few different options. The first one is ChatGPT 3.5. This is what you get with your free ChatGPT account. And if you want to go with more advanced model, you can use ChatGPT 4, which means that you have additional features. So what's the difference between these two, ChatGPT 3.5 and ChatGPT 4? The main difference is that ChatGPT 4 has a bigger contextual window, so it's better in reasoning, it's better in every single task, it's just upgraded part of the model. Also, you can generate images using OpenAI DALL-E, then you can use browsing, so the ChatGPT 4 have an access to internet, so it's not just a library that is pre-trained and that's it. Like in ChatGPT 3, you can access internet and you can get some data and compare some data, and also their analysis tool, which basically can work as a data analysis. So if you have a big set of data and you want to analyze this data, you can use that through ChatGPT 4. I have one of the example here with that, so we can check it in a minute. And then finally, you have plugins. So plugins are a third-party software that is created to work specifically with ChatGPT. So you can install plugins and select them when you prompt. So as you can see, I have a few of those. Like sometimes you can, before there was a time that ChatGPT was not accessing internet, so I have a few of them that are for accessing links, etc. So you can select and prompt with the ChatGPT plugins. But what's happening at the moment is that with custom GPTs, which you can see here, and we can explore in a second, you can create something more advanced than with plugin. And then let's just go with custom GPTs. So what are these custom GPTs? So custom GPTs are GPTs that use the main language model, GPT-4, but on top of that, you can train with your own data and you can create a specific application that is doing something for you. So in a nutshell, imagine this as a Apple Store or Google Play. So the developers or creators can create different GPTs based on their needs that they can set here and monetize. Basically, they can sell, and the profit is shared between OpenAI and the creator. If you want to make it public, if you don't want to make it public, you can make it private, and just you can use it just by yourself. We can do a quick demo of some of those in a second, and let's just see what we can do with ChatGPT. So just to streamline the process, I created a few prompts that are already here in my document. So let's just work with this one. I'm going to choose ChatGPT 4 because I know ChatGPT 4 is accessing internet, and I'll say summarize the content from the URL. That's a simple prompt. So our action is summarize. As we said, that's one of the things. And then we have an URL. If you do that with ChatGPT 3.5, it's not going to do anything because you can't access the content. What you can do with ChatGPT 3.5 is go to this page, copy the content, say summarize the text below, paste it, and then you get it. But let's see what we can get here from this one. So see, it's saying doing research with Bing, which means accessing internet, and then checking the content of the page and creates a summarized version, which you can use for a social media post or whatever. What is the next example? Let's say the same thing, but we have a content and we want to create 5 tweets from that content. It's the same concept. You can get this one, paste it here. We can continue the chat in the same window, but also we can start a completely new chat, and it's going to work. Doesn't matter in this case. So our main goal is to create 5 tweets from the content. Here you go. So imagine you as a marketer, how much time just a simple prompt like that will save you. You have a content, you want 5 tweets, or you want a content for Facebook, you can get it. So there is some like advanced things you can do, I'll say here. The first one and most important thing is that you always need to check the output to be sure that that's A, correct, B, it's what you actually want to say. And the other thing is that if you have a specific format, you can source the algorithm with a few examples, and then the algorithm says, okay, that's what I want to do and try to mimic. So it's going to get the content, but also you use your example, tone of voice, etc., to mimic your needs. Moving forward. Expansion. We said expansion is one of the feature. Let's get this prompt. Let's start even new chat. Paste it here. We say, I'll share a statement. You expand it to detail guide that explores different aspects of influence marketing, including choosing the right influence and measuring campaign success and integrating influencer content into broader marketing strategies. And the statement is that influence marketing is reshaping how brands connect with the audiences. And then here you go. With this simple prompt, you can expand the statement into a longer text format that we can use as an article. We can publish it as an article, as a blog post, or whatever. Again, once this is ready, check it. Always human in a loop. Check if that's correct. Is that what you want to say? Second thing. And then if it resonates with you, if it's fine with your style, you can use it. But also you can do a series of prompts after that to fix the issues that you see in the result. So see, it's still generating. While we're waiting here for this generation, oh, it's done, but I'll say it. Anyways, so I watched yesterday a demo of comparing speed between ChatGPT 4 and Gemini is performing like probably 2-3 times faster than ChatGPT at the moment. So next one is paraphrasing. Here is the common marketing claim. Our product user state of our technology to provide unmatched performance and reliability. And we say, rephrase that to be good for Gen Z audience. So let's try this one and see how it looks like. Here you go. Have something that is more applicable to Gen Z. And just moving forward, let's say text completion, start a blog post with the following introduction. We put introduction, continue the post by discussing this, and that. Copy this. Again, we can start a new chat, see how it goes, and then actually we can start the sentence and then say what exactly we would like to cover, and then ChatGPT will follow our instruction and create this blog post. Cool. I'll say it once again. Once you have the output, you need to check. You need to be sure that that's what you want to say. You need to be sure that it's correct. And after that, you can publish it. That's very basic examples. Obviously, you can advance the prompt with including examples, including tone of voice, including a specific format of output, etc., etc. Now it's a kind of like a free write almost. So you give a sentence and then say what you want. You can implement character limits, etc., etc. So that's good. And one of the final example is stylization or applying a specific style to your output. So we have a product description, and we want to turn this product description into story. And here how it looks like. So I'm just paste it here, not wasting time, and then see. So we want to craft a narrative that embodies the spirit of adventure, community, and brand commitment to sustainability. And then here you go. We have a whole story. So we can use stylization to create a product description, to turn product description or whatever into story. Great. Moving forward. And I have another example, which sounds a little bit random, but let's say just going something completely different direction. Let's say we have a podcast and we want to get the data from this URL, and imagine that we're going to interview Marta, which is part of the story in this URL, and say, just give me an example of 10 questions I can ask Marta. So we say, act as a podcast host. I'll provide you an URL, analyze the data and the context, and create ideas for 10 questions to ask Marta. Let's see what we're going to get. So again, now we're connected to internet. All right, cool. So it's not able to be connected by some reason. I don't know what the reason is. I have assumption. And this assumption is that actually a website can use their webmaster console to protect ChatGPT for accessing website. But in this case, what we can do, if I can do it, I'll try it quickly. If it works, I can get the data here. So TikTok teens doing whatever they're doing, get the whole content from the page. Give me a second. Let's say that's the content, and then paste the content here, and then say, just, get the same prompt at the top. Put it in the top, and then say, I'll provide you with text. Analyze the text, and then I say, text, that's the text. What we can do is divide it from the other content, just to be clear. And then here you go. We can have 10 questions. If we like them, we can use them. If we don't like them, we can continue prompting, or we can use just some ideas and create our own questions. But that's how powerful it can be. Go somewhere, analyze text, and create something that we needed. Great. Moving forward, because we don't have so much time and we have a lot of content to cover. Let's just talk a little bit about multimodality, or what actually ChatGPT can do. So let's say we want to get a description of the image. So we can browse here and we can get an image. So that's the same image with Marta, and say, describe the image. So you can see how basically we can get an image and turn this image into text, into description, even though here we have two different responses. So we can choose from, say, okay, this is the one I like more, or the other two. That's another option from ChatGPT. You can have multiple response. Actually, this is option in Gemini as well. It gives every time 3 different, and you can generate more. So yeah, that's the description, and we can use that description actually if you want to reverse it. I just tried. Interesting experiment. So I'm going to, just a second. I'm going to copy this and say, generate. Oops, typo, but it's going to work. Okay, so now DALL-E 3 is generating image because DALL-E 3 is this machine learning part or this kind of software that is for image generation, which is embedded into ChatGPT. That's another OpenAI project. So they upgraded from DALL-E 2 to DALL-E 3 recently, and yeah, just great results. So we can see what we're going to get there. I'm a little bit conscious with time, so I'm trying to do it quicker moving forwards. I can talk here for hours, if you don't mind, but we don't have that time, unfortunately. Um, cool. Here you go. That's the result based on that description. But also you can create your own. You can say create image of cute dog running in the green fields manga style, for example, and boom, you can get it. Let's wait for DALL-E 3 to do its magic for a second. And let me see what's next. All right. I just want to prepare the next piece. So that's the final part from uh, ChatGPT live demo. So while we waiting, I'm just going to brief you quickly. So it's how we as a marketers can use ChatGPT to analyze data because, most of the decisions we make as a marketers are based on data. And I created a very simple scenario. I exported a campaign from Google Ads and I have a prompt saying, okay, analyze this set of campaigns and give me recommendations based on performance, keeping in mind that I need this and that. So waiting for the image here, and we're going to do analyzing. Again, here you go. That's your cute running dog into uh, into manga style. So you can see what kind of quality you can get from ChatGPT and DALL-E 3. Also, we were going to run a Midjourney demo in a second, and you can see what's the difference and what you can do there. So stay tuned. Finally, as we said, a little bit on data analysis. So we say, act as an experienced Google Ads specialist. I'll provide you with the last 30 days performance of an ad account. You will provide me with insights based on data. I need to know how to relocate budget to get more conversions on a lower cost per conversion. So that's our need. So we very well specified what we need. And then I go there, grab this report, which is exported. So it's kind of, I prepare that in advance so we don't waste time, and put into ChatGPT analyzing tool. So once you upload a spreadsheet or a CSV file, we know that this is data, and now it's analyzing the data and providing what we have actually in the data set. And just giving us some information and asking to clarification, saying, okay, that's the data. I'm proceeding with analyzing. And you'll see in a second what kind of output you can get and how helpful this can be for every single marketer, because actually you're able to even to learn how to do proper analysis using ChatGPT. It's not like okay, they're going to replace it, but it can use the hardcore part of the job, and then you can just fine tune the things. Okay, there's an error. We are patient. Let's see. Let's see. You see, okay, I see what's happening. So there's a different way we set conversions or conversions. So it's kind of, okay, there is something that is not matching correctly. So I'm just going to proceed with data. It's kind of a formatting of the data in the table. And then after 3 iterations, which we see, I haven't touched my laptop. So ChatGPT has done all the job in saying, this is your average cost per conversion for these campaigns. This is your average cost. That's how much you spend. That's how many conversions you have across different kind of campaigns, and then recommendation for budgetary allocation, saying increase budget for performance max campaign, reevaluating stream video campaign, consider, etc., etc., etc. So you can see how powerful this can be. So that's basically export of a data set with the real data from real campaign, and then you can basically do a very quick analysis. So that's the end of the live demo with ChatGPT. I'm cautious with time, so I'm going back to my main slide and putting on slideshow again. So a few quick things about ChatGPT, good, bad, and ugly. So ChatGPT is good in extracting information from text, generate ideas, and writing code. That's where it's good. It's bad with math. So if you're trying to force ChatGPT to say, okay, create me a Google Ads that is, or Google headline, which is 30 characters, you're never going to get it. It's not good in calculating. You say, I want a blog post of 3 paragraphs. It's very unlikely you get 3 paragraphs. Also can guarantee accuracy and can access information dated after February 2023. So that's after the final update they've done probably a few months ago. Before that was accessing data from up to 2022. The ugly stuff about ChatGPT is it can hallucinate, which means that can made up absolutely things that are not true. That's why I'd say it's not trustworthy. So whatever information you have as an output, you need to check the facts. There's some techniques you can reduce hallucination, but we don't have time for this one at the moment. If you're interested, you get in touch with me, and I can source you with some information you can read and get some ideas of how you can reduce this hallucination. So moving forward, the next part is the images. So now we cover text, we have images, we have audio, and we have video, and we're going to be quicker here. So the good thing of images is that you can convert your idea or your imagination from text into image. Then the other thing is that you don't need to use more stock images. So you can generate all of the images by your own, and you can do a better job. The most important is just to imagine what you want and to be able to explain it in words. Then, as we said, imagination is the only limit. What you can do artistic images, photorealistic images, graphic design, 3D models, virtual characters and avatars, textures and patterns, all of that. Everything as an image you need to do, from photorealistic to a specific artist style to graphics or whatever you can do with these tools. One caveat here is that probably they're not still very good with text, or if you want to put some text within an image, it's not working very well. DALL-E 3 is a little bit better than Midjourney, but that's in a detail. That's going to be fixed soon, I believe. And then what you can do logos and brand visuals. You can do product development, blog posts and articles, social media posts, all the images you need. You can do it by these image generation tools. Everything about your emails, everything about your newsletter. If you want, you can create or generate images using AI tools. Probably, I'm pretty sure someone going to ask, what about copyright? So that's a good question, as speakers are saying always. But the interesting here is that as a rule of thumb, the prompter is an owner of the image, and depends of terms of conditions of the specific platform. You need to check that there can be some restrictions of how we can use it, or can you use it for commercial use, etc., etc. So just 3 very simple. That's the top of the iceberg. Three tools: Midjourney, DALL-E 3, which is part of ChatGPT, which we already saw how it works, and Stable Diffusion. What's the key feature differences? Probably Midjourney is most advanced at the moment. There's a free trial available, but then it's around $10 per month. You can create high quality images and with a simple text prompt. And it's a little bit hard to set up initially because it runs through Discord. So you need to have a Discord account. And it's a little bit more technical in terms of how you prompt compared with DALL-E 3, but the results are stunning. DALL-E 3, as we said, is part of ChatGPT Plus and Enterprise. There's a free model and API. You can create an image by text, and you can use API as well. Stable Diffusion, it's another option. You can create visuals. It's similar to Midjourney. I'll say it's a little bit more technical to get things right and running, but because it's more technical, actually it's more flexible. So you need to be better in prompting to get what you want. Sometimes with Midjourney, with DALL-E 3, you're prompting, but you can't get what exactly you want. So Midjourney live demo. Let me see what I want to cover. So I'm going to escape from here, close this, and just going to write Midjourney. And here you go. That's where you land in a Midjourney. So that's my account. Obviously, you can see here a lot of different images. They are not generated by me. That's, as you can see, I'm in Explorer tab. So if I go there and I click, I can see the actual prompt. A huge cute cat is wearing Chinese New Year clothes, praying, cinematic, full body cute, and aspect ratio 3:4 version 6 of Midjourney. So the good thing here is that you can basically learn from what other people are doing. Once we log in into Discord, you can see like a wall of feed of images, and you can see exact prompt. Obviously, here is my images, so you can browse here and see what I've done. Again, you can go here and you can see the actual prompt. And if you want to go to actual Midjourney to generate the images, you click on community and login into your account. So what you can see here, I have a few examples, and I'm just going to run you very quickly through the interface and how it works. So you see here different streams. So if I go to newbie 34, doesn't matter. You can see, here you go, black gaming, mobile phone product, image, hovering in space, blah, 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 blah. And then you can see the whole prompt here. And that's the actual image you get. And that's the next image. Or a very expensive plastic bottle of water with a beautiful label that reminds you of the ocean. And then you have a few parameters here. We don't have time to cover these parameters, but you have like 3 options. And even if I want, I can generate image from this option and use it. These are public. So if you use a paid account, what you can do is to go to direct messages and your Midjourney bot, and here are all of your prompts only. So let's get a few ideas of what we can do. The main and a simple thing you can do, I'll say for Midjourney, it's it's the following structure of the prompt. You have an object or subject, you have an action, and you have a surrounding. Basically, that's the or background. So object, action, and background. And here we say, a man cycling on a road bike in rural Italy, and then you do backslash imagine, and you put the prompt. That's how you're going to get it. So let's see. what we're going to get. So it's waiting to start right now. And it's going to start probably we're going to wait for this one, but because I already test them, we can see the result there, and we can skip the part of waiting for actual creation. But that's the concept. You do backslash imaging and you put the prompt, and actually at the moment it's generating the images. You see it's 46%. That's what you're going to get when it's ready. And then I can run you quickly of what you can do there as an option. And then we're going to go into some different scenarios. Cool. Let's give it some time. All right. Cool. These are the images. You can click on that and you can see a little bit bigger. Let's say we like one of those images, let's say number 4. And what you can do is to upscale number 4. So if we click here, this image will be upscaled. So if you open this one, open in browser, that's the actual image. That's the quality that we're going to get. So that's the upscaled image. Also, as an option here, you can do, actually, I like number 1, but I want to do a variation of number 1. So I go here and say, make me a variant of number 1, or also I can upscale number 1 as well. So here you go. This is the actual image, number 1. And this is the variation now. It's baking at the moment. So from this image, Midjourney is creating variation with 4 different variations. So we can continue, like, do variations of this or upscale some of this until we get the result that we need. Cool. We'll wait for this one. And because I'm really cautious about the time, I'm going to run you through another prompts that I already run this morning, so you can see how are the differences in how we can basically expand or make the prompt more advanced, let's say. Cool. So, we have these 4 images. If we like something, let's say I like number 4, you go upscale. That's how it looks like. That's photorealistic image. And it's great. If you want to do a cycling campaign or something, you can generate your images. But let's just check something else. I use exactly the same prompt, but I put at the end AR 16:9, which is aspect ratio. That's how you can, with this parameter, you can work on aspect ratio. So you can say 16:9. Most of the platform are using 16:9, and again, you can upscale. It's going to go back at the bottom. So at the moment, it's upscaling. You go, that's your image, and then you can create different aspect ratio based on your needs. Let's just go up, and we can go even more advanced. We can say a man cycling on the road in rural Italy. So again, we have an object, an action, and surrounding, and then you say cartoon style, soft light, golden hour, aerial view perspective, shot on 1919 style camera. So we can define all these additional parameters, and that's what we can get. Let's just get one of those. Let's say number 3, this one with the sunset, and that's your result. You can open in browser and you can see what you can get. Closing this one, going back to Discord, and finally, as a final example, we can say a man cycling on the road in rural Italy, Pixar movie style. So you can do Pixar movie style, aspect ratio 16:9. You go and you can see definitely that it looks like Pixar. Let's just upscale number 3 and see what we are going to get as a result. Here you go, open in browser. That's the result. So you can see we can dictate the style as well, and you can create something really stunning as long as we have imagination to do it. Cool. that's the live demo part from Discord. I'm going to go back into my slides and moving forward. Let's see. I try to keep you 10 more minutes max. So we cover text, we cover images. Now let's cover a little bit quicker audio and video. So when we talk about generating audio and generative AI audio tools, it can be something that is for creating music, something for creating speech or voice, sound effect, or voice cloning. Voice cloning is like I can record my voice, I can use this voice to train the data, and then I can start using a text to voice, which actually sounds like me. A few tools, Music LM, this is a Google tool, Soundful, SoundRaw, Murph, and Koi AI. Very quickly, what's the difference, what they are doing? Music LM, it's a music tool. It's a Google tool for creating music. Stable Audio is another one that is doing exactly the same. That's for generating music. They're like a main models at the moment. They're not very advanced, but they're getting better. And the other Soundful and SoundRaw, it's a tools for creating like a royalty-free tracks for creators or background music for videos, podcasts, etc. So they're paid. They have some kind of restrictions. They kind of predefined patterns you can follow. Then Murph, it's a voiceover generated tool, so you can get more than 120 AI voice with 20 plus different languages. So that's great when we talk about an audio for e-learning, ads, explainers, audiobooks, etc., etc. So, all the narrators can be replaced by this because you have a great variety of tools. So you can basically generate audio file from text. And Koi AI, the only difference is that it's created for voice cloning, or it can be used for deepfakes as well. So that's why I'm just put it here just to be aware about this kind of stuff. Then we're going to video. So from video point of view, when we talk about generative AI, it's like a video to video translation, video summarizations, text to video generation, lip syncing, AI avatar videos, and deepfake. So we can use one video and create multiple videos, or we can get one video and create a summary or shorter version, or we can get a text and convert text as a Midjourney, but not into image, into video, or we can use an image and use this image as an input to create a video. We can do lip syncing and AI avatar videos. AI avatar, it's for a training or whatever. Some of the tools we are going to cover, you can basically create your own avatar, and in theory, my avatar can do this masterclass today. But a few examples: Runway as a tool, Synthesia and Lumen 3. A few more. So Synthesia, it's one of my favorite in terms of AI avatar. So you can create a training video by just using text and predefined AI avatar. If you paid premium, you can create a AI avatar with your image, with yourself, and you can create all the videos with that. Support more than 100 languages. There's like a great use case for a company. I can't remember the name of the company, but they need to do onboarding video, and they need to do that in 5 different languages. So in terms of video production, that's a massive thing. So that's why they decided to go with Synthesia and basically create a custom avatar, and they have all the videos in all the languages, and it's streamlined because they start from text. They don't need to record video, they don't need to edit video. Everything is easy, simple, and more and cheaper. Then I'm just going to cover Runway as a concept. That's a tool that can generate video from images or from text, and it's probably the most advanced at the moment. Keep in mind that this technology is not very good now, but it's getting better every single day. Runway also are running a competitions from time to time for generative AI movies. So there's like a completely new genre coming on as an art, like a completely generative AI generated videos. So try to see how you're going to feel about that. And that's the basic concept around video. And then I have a marketing use case. I'm going to run very quickly through that. And that will be so. Because we're talking about marketing today here, what I have is to get the concept of creating a marketing for event from A to Z. So first, what we can do is market research. Run this prompt. The idea here is that we're going to run a brand new drone technology exhibition in Las Vegas. So first, we want to do market research. That's what we get as the result, and then this result contain market overview, target audience, competitor analysis, location analysis, promotion and marketing, and conclusion. And don't rely 100% of this data. As we said, ChatGPT can hallucinate. So take this as a starting point and develop on that. Then we want to create a name of this event and strapline. So act as event planner, give me 10 ideas. Here are the 10 ideas of the name strapline. So what you can do is to change event planner with the creative director or creative copywriter in the prompt, so you can test different like job functions. You can ask for more idea, or you can combine the ideas you want by your own. Then we can plan the actual event dates based on the industry and the other events going on there. So that's what ChatGPT recommends. So it's doing research, see if there is no clash. Again, check this data to be sure that there's that's all correct, because it can be made up completely. Also, we can go to Midjourney and create a logo for the event. So, for example, that's our event that we decided. That's dates, that's the strapline, and then we can create actual logo. As you can see, Midjourney is not very good yet with words or with the text within the image, but that's getting better. Then let's say we need to create a sponsor deck. We can use a prompt like that and get this as a result. Again, you can use a follow-up questions to get better result. You can use your existing template to give them as an example and to create a variation. And you can use the same strategy to create email templates across all departments, etc., etc. Then we can get the media plan idea. So that's our budget, how is the best way to spend it. And then ChatGPT can recommend how to split the budget. Again, that's our ideas. Don't take it 100%. Also, one interesting thing here is that we said at the end, present the result in a spreadsheet, which is part of the prompt at the end, saying how we want to see the data. So that's the spreadsheet. And then again, double check the data, ask follow-up questions, and update the media plan. If you, for example, want to include TikTok, you say, okay, include TikTok, and then you say you still have this $100,000, but you have a line with TikTok as well. So if we talk about SEO, there's a whole concept of how you can create like SEO ready content very quickly. First, you create the keyword clusters, and then these are the clusters with a few keywords and ideas, topics there. Then you can use these clusters to create a blog post for each of these. And then once you have the blog post, you can use the same structure to write a long text, etc., etc. The interesting thing here is that you actually can use a different frameworks, blog writing frameworks, and you can define this in your prompt and you'll get exactly what you need. If we need to do a social media post for that event, again, we can create a schedule first and actual post based on a topic. In this case, we say we need something around drone industry and sustainability. Here you go. That's the proposed posts, platform, hashtag, and schedule. obviously you can adjust based on your needs. Then you can create a video script. If you need to create a video for this event, you start with script. So with the prompt like that, you can create your script. It looks like that. It cuts into different scenes. So you can use that again as a starting point. You start from there, you edit, put your ideas, but actually you have something you can step on. There is no blank pages. You're not starting for a whiteboard. Then we can get the feedback, simple prompt, create post-event feedback form, and then you go. That's the something around the end of the event. You can ask your participants, and then it's an endless. So you can do competitor research, you can do keyword research, you can create your ad copy, you can create your speaker bios, you can create email templates, summarize feedback, sentiment analysis. So you get all the data and say, okay, I want to do sentiment analysis to this to know what people actually are thinking. Is there like a good or bad attitude? You can create a copy of your landing page. You can create summaries of webinar. You can create promotional emails. You can create speaker panel question, everything related to text, images, video. And because we're talking about marketing, you can do it here. And that's just, again, the top of the iceberg. So very quickly about Spark. So this is a framework because we talk about the different prompts, we talk about the different strategies, but how you actually apply it in practice, it's with this framework called Spark. So I work on this framework middle of the last year. So it's a very simple concept where you first check your work process and see where you can implement AI. Then you pick a proper model or a proper software or proper tool. Then you apply this tool, which means that you create your prompts or you create your strategy, how to use it exactly. Then you train your team how to use these tools and be aware to train your team in general. And then once this is done, you need to evaluate this process regularly to be sure that everything's fine and everything's working properly. And then here I have one example, like it's not even marketing, it's more operational, but how this can be applied. So this is Ashley. She's head of PPC or paid media in our company. So when we analyzing how we can apply Spark, we go to something which is a client calls. So we do client calls every single day. And we say, is there any way we can shorten the process of summarizing the phone calls? And you say, yeah, AI can help with that, obviously. So because we use Google Workplace, we enable Duet AI, which create automatic summary in a Google Meet. I think you can do that in Zoom as well. And then once this is ready, we run one prompt directly over the summary doc that Google creates. And then that creates a minutes of meeting, which includes who was on that meeting, what was discussed, what are the action points. Very simple. And before that, we need to do that manually. And if we go to Ashley again and her case, and not only her case, so that saved her around 10 minutes per phone call. And then she's doing 10 calls per week. And if you do a proper math, you figure out that this saves around 10 working days per year. So just with one simple implementation, with one simple use of this framework. And I think we're running out of time, so I'm going to pass this experiment. So I've done like a few funny stuff over this year. So the one is how we can explain marketing terms to 5 years old. So we use ChatGPT to create the content and then read this to Darcy, and then she come back with what she understands. It was great experiment. You can scan the QR code and you can go there and see the whole description of how it works and watch the video. Another experiment was what if Kurt Vonnegut shows up on the interview for digital marketing. So we actually use this kind of, we use our actual interview questions and then we say, okay, reply as a Kurt Vonnegut. So it's kind of mixed between Kurt Vonnegut style and also a marketer who is 30 years old. So that's a funny experiment. The other one I've done probably a year ago, it's to create a whole song using real people and ChatGPT. So you can scan the code, you can listen to the song. The idea was, okay, we get ChatGPT to help us create the lyrics and also help us with the chord structure. And then once we have that, we adjust a little bit the chord structure and we put this all together and create a whole song, which is called Party 2099. And we recorded that with the band I'm playing. And finally, I think that's the final of my slides, a little bit about me. So if you want to connect with me, you can scan the QR code or you can search for Alex Velinov on LinkedIn. That's the place where I'm most active. That's the place where I'm posting about different tools, different strategies, different findings, comparisons, etc., etc. So if you want to learn something new every day, that's the place. Also, I'm owner of these two LinkedIn groups. The one is called OpenAI ChatGPT in marketing. So there's a marketer sharing ideas about how they can use AI in day-to-day basic. And the other one is only about custom GPTs. So you can be part of this group. They're open for everyone. And to summarize myself in a few words, I'll say I'm a long life learner, dreamer, and I always want to learn something new. And finally, before I go and we go to questions and answer, and I'm really conscious about time, it's that we're limited only by our own imagination. Thank you.